to another episode of BLESS TV. My name is Jess. I'm joined here with Jojo and Christina, and we are here to have some fun today. If you are new here, if you haven't been before, welcome to BLESS TV. We are called BLESS Society. We're a society that started up on Brighton and Sussex campuses a few years back. And because of the fact we've got a pandemic going on right now, we decided why not bring our society online to a TV show where we can talk about relevant topics, eat some food together, have some fun, and answer life's big questions. It's a jolly good time. But why don't we pass over to Christina, who's going to tell us all what to expect on today's episode.
Yeah, Jess, I feel like we've got a little bit of a series going on. We've got Jojo here today with us, telling us a bit about med life and what it's been like at the moment in the hospitals. Really looking forward to that. Then we're going to have our spotlight question as well. So if you don't know, every week we give you an opportunity to win some food on us. So I'm looking forward to that. And we've got Arnold continuing on telling us about suffering. So that's what we've got to look forward to.
Yes, we are excited for all of this to come in today's show. But first and foremost, let's introduce our guest, Jojo.
Hey, girl. Welcome to Bless.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you could join us today. I just want to start off by asking you, tell us a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Why did you choose medicine? And what year are you in?
Okay, yeah, so as I said, my name's Jojo. I'm in third year of medical school, and I grew up in Kent in a small area called Medway, and that was had the highest infection rates in the country a couple of weeks ago, so that's fun. And I chose medicine because I've just always wanted to help people. I've always loved science and just thought it would just be a fun career to go into, always something different every single day. So that's kind of how I fell into it, I guess.
And have you had COVID yet? Are you okay?
No, I've been vaccinated actually, so I feel like I'm free to not catch COVID. So
well, Jojo, I'm glad that you're not contaminated and you are healthy and well, and yay for vaccines, yay. But whilst we interview Jojo, guys, we have got a fun little section here at Bless TV where we play a game together. So Jojo, what's going to happen is we're going to ask you 3 different questions about the human body. If you get 2 out of those 3 questions right, you've won an NHS worker a free meal. Are you ready for the challenge?
I'm ready. I'm up for everything.
Okay, here we go. Your first question is, what causes us to have different skin color?
I'm pretty sure it's melanin. Yeah? Yeah.
Yep.
We love us some melanin. Yes.
It would be bad if I got that wrong.
It's all good. That is 1 out of 2 questions you got to get to win an NHS worker a prize. And if you get the next question right, we've just got a 3rd question for some fun, free knowledge for you at home.
So Jojo, you mentioned that you're a 3rd year student. What was your freshers like? I hear a lot that obviously med students are a little bit wild. Have you got any funny stories that you can share with us?
The entirety of Freshers Week is literally a blur. Medics, it's actually true, they really do go hard. We have one night on a Friday, we call it beering tearing. So when you start the night off with people writing your name and address on your hand or on your forehead, because they know people are just gonna get so ridiculously drunk that they'll not be able to find their way home. And you just go around to a bunch of 2nd year houses and we just pump you full of alcohol through those horrible games. It's so much fun, but by the end of the night, they're just driving people home left, right, and centre. It's so messy, and I think it sets precedent for the rest of at least first year for me and med school of just people just constantly let's go out. And I think first term I went out 3 times a week. I was just constantly tired every single Sunday, but I was I'm gonna try come to church anyway. But I'm tired, but I'm here anyway.
And when you came into your 2nd year of uni, were you never again, I'm not going back to this lifestyle, or did I kind of carry on?
I think I wanted to change it, but I think when Freshers Week happened, we didn't have any lectures that week, so we were we might as well just go to every single event too. And I remember instead of getting freshers flu, I caught tonsillitis somehow, and I was this is the epitome of freshers, and this is how you've done freshers properly by getting some form of illness. But I think after that, like me and my house, like we slowed down a bit. It's like we're just tired at this point. I feel like I'm getting old, even though I'm only 21. But like, yeah.
I'm trying to work out what's worse, freshers flu or tonsillitis. Don't think I've ever had either.
Yeah, like I think we just like diagnosed ourselves. I was like, guys, my throat really hurts. I don't know what's going on. And my friend was like, maybe you have glandular fever. I was like, nah, it can't be that. Maybe it's tonsillitis. Like they all got their torches and started licking the back of my throat. They were like, yeah, we're medics. We definitely know what we're talking about. I'm like, guys, we've only done like 1 year. Like we need to relax. And they were like, yeah.
Tonsillitis.
Well, there you go. Your first year of uni and you're already diagnosing each other's tonsils. Fabulous. Fabulous. Well, girl, first year was such an experience, and I'm glad that you're here to talk more about your experience over the years as a med student. But before we get into more questions, are you ready for another round of quick fire questions?
I am. I'm ready.
The next question is, this is a true or false one, so you got this.
Okay.
Hopefully. The next question is, teeth are counted as bones. True or false?
That's such a weird question. This is more dentistry than medicine. I'm going to point this out. This is more dentist area.
Do you know? Right. Fair enough. I will give you that.
Like I don't think we count teeth as bones. Like I know it's like it just stays there. I'm not going to say it's false. They're not bones. It's enamel. It's a completely different substance.
And your thought would be correct, Jojo. That answer is indeed false. There you go.
Perfect. I'm giving my degree right now. I'm ready.
You have won an NHS burger, a free meal. How do you feel? I feel amazing. This is so good.
I feel great. I hope they're very satisfied with whatever their meal is.
Well, Jojo, I know you've spoke a little bit about your experience of first year at uni, and now you've been here for 3 years. Crazy, you're in third year. I guess what I would love to ask you is there any like experiences that you've had that you were like, whoa, nobody told me about expecting this in my med life. No one told me I'd see this or experience this on the wards and the hospitals. Like any crazy stories, anything you want to share?
Yeah, I feel like you kind of just forget like how talkative patients can be. So like you get taught how to like take like a proper medical history and how to talk to patients and stuff, but you never really know what they're gonna say. So like I remember last time I was talking to a patient, I was just trying to like ask him about his liver or whatever, and this guy was telling me his entire life story, that he grew up on like a farm, and then I don't know how he started talking. He's like, yeah, I just really love black women, I just think they're amazing. I was like, where's this coming from? I asked you about your liver. Why are you talking about women that you're attracted to? I was like, what's going on? But yeah, I don't think anything can really prepare you for like what patients are like gonna say.
Could you share with our viewers what your placement is and what you experienced on your placement this week? Because I find that very intriguing.
Yeah, so this term I've got my surgery rotation. So we're just going around like different like surgical specialties. And then so one of the surgeries, I was with them having a chat, and the gastro surgeons were just there, just pulling out a colon. And I was just talking to them, talking about the drugs or whatever, and I just see this like colon being pulled out of this guy's stomach. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, God, they're really just like yanking at it. Like, fair, that's what you guys do. This is what you're trained to do. Like 15 years worth of training, and you're just pulling out a colon casually. Perfect.
Too good. Well, that is probably a good time to move on to our next quick fire question on the human body. Jojo, are you ready for one final round, gal?
I'm ready, yeah.
The next question is, antibiotics are only effective at fighting what?
Bacteria.
Yes! Boom, boom, boom.
So Jojo, we know that you're a Christian. I was just wondering how your faith has impacted you during this time. You know, we know with COVID at the moment, has there been quite some difficult times that you felt like your faith has really helped you?
Yeah, so last year, so our second term exam got moved to like the end of June. So I had like 2 exams back to back, and we don't normally do that in medical school. So yeah, I was quite stressed about that, and like I don't think I would have gotten through it if like God wasn't there, and like I just had him as like a source of like just peace and just encouragement. I think it's the only way I got through it because I was so stressed out and I was just very tired. And I kept calling my parents like for encouragement and stuff, and they just kept saying, "Yeah, read this Bible verse. It's like will really help." So yeah, I think God was like amazing during that time for me.
That's so good, man. And I think it's so interesting, isn't it? Like how, as a Christian, you can just say, I know this person who's real and exists, and I can just call upon his name whenever I'm in need. I can pray, I can reach out. He's given us the Bible with scriptures to encourage us. Like, that's so cool. So yeah, I'm so glad that God has helped you in those moments. Jojo, thank you so much for coming on, girl. Thanks for sharing your words of wisdom. Thanks for sharing all the crazy stories of the things that we don't get to see on a day to day. It's really cool to hear what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, thanks for coming on, babes. We've loved having you.
Thanks for having me. No problem at all.
So guys, we're going to move on to the next part of our episode, which is our spotlight question. And so if you've not been here before, this is where we're going to ask you guys to answer something in the chat. So it's either going to be on our YouTube or on our Instagram. And the first person to answer the question right will win a free meal on us. And the question this week is, what organ pumps blood around the body? And we're going to keep a close eye to see who answers first, and we'll be in touch with you to give you a free meal.
Winner in the chat, we're coming for you. We're coming. You think of that takeaway that you would like, and we're going to deliver it to you very soon. But in the meantime, we're going to continue on with Bless TV, where we've got Arnold answering another question on the Christian faith. We're going to be continuing our question exploring why is there suffering. So Arnold, over to you.
Thanks so much, guys, for bringing me in. For those of you who don't know, my name is Arnold, and there's normally a little section over here where I've got 5 minutes to try and answer a question that you might have about faith. And today, what we're actually going to be looking at is the problems of the atheistic answer to suffering. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people will ask me questions about Christianity, and they'll say, you know what, how can God exist? Because this happens. I'd love to know from the atheist, what is your answer to it? I think in all honesty, when it comes to the atheistic answer, well, truth is, it just is what it is, all right? We suffer. That is the world that we live in. Evolution and the progress and development of the earth has led to it doing this. And sure, that is fine. But there is still this sense of an injustice being done. And that's why we shake the fist at God. See, another problem with the atheistic view of evil is that there is no basis in which you can call something evil. There is no reference point. If you were to say that this particular act is evil, then my question is, what says that it is evil? You might say, well, we just have an innate understanding of there actually being evil in existence. Then I would say there are other people who will have a different view on what is evil, whether an act in itself is evil. I've heard it being said, actually, that every human being is born with an innate desire to alleviate suffering for themselves, with an innate desire to thrive. Well, I guess the question is then, in your desire to thrive, it might lead to the suffering of other people. This has been the case with pretty much most country leaders pre-20th century. Their understanding is, in order for us to alleviate suffering as much as possible and to thrive as much as possible, it would involve the suffering of other people. Then you're still left with this moral issue. Is that right? What is the basis that says that this is the best way in which we deal with suffering? Maybe it's on the basis that the only objective truth from an atheistic perspective is that thriving is a good thing. The problem is that that's just not big enough, or suffering is a bad thing. That in itself is not big enough. There is no answer to suffering from an atheistic worldview, then you can pose a question, but God doesn't exist, right? So it doesn't matter. And I think that is a fair point. If God doesn't exist, then it doesn't matter. There is no true, genuine answer to suffering. There is no true, genuine answer to morality. They will always be that from an atheist perspective, and something within us will always be angry about it, but there is nothing really we can do about it. We will just suffer. For me as a Christian, it's not just a belief in terms of a subjective belief, but upon looking at the evidence, I have concluded that Jesus rose from the dead. And this is definitely something that I've talked about before in previous Bless TV episodes, but it is also something that I will talk about later on, looking at the evidence for the existence, death, and resurrection of somebody called Jesus. He was known as Yeshua. This person existed, died, and rose from the dead. Now, if Jesus did rise from the dead, he speaks about suffering. And he says there is a time in which all suffering will be dealt with. If Jesus rose from the dead, then we can trust that what he had said as well was true. So this is more than just a philosophical conversation of does God exist, doesn't God exist? The basis is, if you believe that God doesn't exist, you have to also take on all of the ramifications from that, namely that either we're in a nihilistic world, that everyone determines for themselves what is good and what is bad, and everyone is able to do to each other whatever they feel to be good. Or you have a simplistic mindset that the only objective morality is that suffering is bad, thriving is good, and that is it. There's nothing more that we can say about that. The atheistic worldview has no basis to say that something is wrong or right. And if somebody else disagrees with your act, you have no reference point to say, actually, you're wrong because this says this. But I hope that that is still some good food for thought. Thanks, guys, and back to you.
Arnold, thank you so much for coming on and answering such a big question yet again. I've really been enjoying this series and hope that it's been beneficial for you guys as well. But if you're somebody that's sitting at home and you're a little bit curious about the Christian faith, if you're listening to these questions, these conversations we're having and thinking, I want to find out more. Well, we've got the place for you. We have got a course called Alpha, which runs on a weekly basis where you can come in every Thursday evening. We run it on Zoom. We explore different questions about the Christian faith. Who is Jesus? Why do you guys believe in this? Is the Bible real? How can you tell it's real? Where's the evidence? All your questions can be answered here in this place. Let's explore them together. No questions are barred. Come through. We would love to have you and explore the Christian faith together. But Chris, is there something else going on this evening?
Yeah, so if you'd like to check out church, we'd love to have you hang out with us today at 6 p.m. We hang out as a church community. We come onto Zoom, we watch the preach from church, we play games, and we love to just hang out. We'd love to have you join us. So yeah, 6 p.m, come hang out with us.
All the things are happening, guys. It's a very exciting time. But for now, this is the end of Bless TV for today. But again, Jojo, thanks for joining us. Gal, Chris, thanks for being here. Thanks you guys for joining in. But make sure to tune in again next week, or maybe join us this evening at church if you fancy. But otherwise, that's it from us. Bye everyone. Have a lovely day.